Welcome everyone. Today we're looking at the ISTE standards and Horizon reports for Unit 3. Our first ISTE standard is Model Digital Age Work and Learning Standards for Teachers. Teachers exhibit knowledge, skills, and work processes representative of an innovative professional in a global and digital society. The Horizon reports that we used were the 2015 Museum Edition and the 2017 K-12 edition. In my report, it talked about makerspaces and 3D prints and museums making replicas of objects. In relation to teachers, they could create models of new concepts, 3D model of an atom. In the article, The Internet of Things, the MESH project provides a platform where museum professionals can create interactive smart objects and embed narratives within them without specialized tech knowledge. In relation to teachers, they could embed a narrative in a 3D print, for example, of the digestive system.
In the 2017 K-12 edition, in the Analytical Technologies report, the teachers understood that data and its uses in the information age, and teachers also understood the benefit of measuring student learning using quantifiable data. Khan Academy was a mainstream example of how analytical technologies can be used. That site continually assesses the learner's progress and adapts the curricular content.
For my report, Horizon Report 2017 K-12 edition, Analytical Technology turns data to actionable information for teachers. Teachers are able to retrieve information on real time to personalize and adapt to the learner. Data that is retrieved, teachers are able to predict learners' outcomes. Therefore, they are able to prompt interventions or curricular adaptations and impose a new path or strategies that will develop students' educational accomplishments.
The next is T standard, Creative Communicator Standards for Students. Students communicate clearly and express themselves creatively for a variety of purposes using the platforms, tools, styles, formats, and digital media appropriate to their goals. In my report, it talked about gamification, and research on mobile gaming has revealed that museum visitors feel that mobile games would enhance their learning experiences. This can easily translate to students in the classroom. In a gaming situation, students have to communicate with peers and work through problems with creative solutions.
In my report on the Makerspace article, Opportunities for Hands-on Learning and Creation, students are able to develop 21st century skills such as creativity, high-order problem solving, and entrepreneurial thinking. Prepare students for a global technological economy, and it promotes interest in STEAM fields.
On my report, I focus on the Makerspace and robotics. Makerspace students have the opportunity to do hands-on learning and creations while incorporating technology, encourages creativity and collaboration while fostering self-directions and peer-to-peer learning. Robotics nurtures innovation for students to confront global and local challenges, supports critical and computational thinking while collaborating, and both supports students' 21st century learning skills.
The next ISTE standard, Global Collaborator Standards for Students. Students use digital tools to broaden their perspectives and enrich their learning by collaborating with others and working effectively in teams locally and globally. In the BYOD article, it talked about in museums, it allows patrons to share experiences with others. One problem it talked about was that children do not always have the technology. That's not something I find at the high school. More often than not, kids do have technology with them. Students can use their own devices to communicate with others, record and share their educational experiences. Internet allows for this information to also be shared globally.
In the virtual reality article, it talked about enabling more experimental learning opportunities to focus on a student-centered approach, and it can augment curriculum with virtual field trips.
On my report, robotics, students collaborate to frame a solution to a global or local challenge. Robotics allows students to create a robot to find a solution to a global or local challenge. For example, in August of 2017, a South Australian high school robotics team won the Robotic Olympics. A group of 14 students collaborated to find a global issue, which was creating clean water. The robot would remove contaminants to make the water safe to drink.
In the next ISTE standard, Digital Age Learning Environment Standards for Coaches. Technology coaches create and support effective digital age learning environments to maximize the learning of all students. In my report, it talked about natural user interfaces and using technology in museums to convey information through touch and sound for people with disabilities. You can easily see how this would work in a school as we have our special populations. And then in Internet of Things, wearable technology, increase engagement through personalization, which lends itself to the personalized learning.
In the report on AI, prepare students for workforce changes, help students understand ethical questions that may arise from AI use, help students understand the complexity of contextual assessment, that's the nuances computers will not understand. Amazon's Alexa is a mainstream example of virtual assistant that's already in many of the students' homes.
Also, virtual reality, student-centered learning enables more experimental learning opportunities through tactile stimulations. Also on artificial intelligence, AI, students-centered prepares for the 21st century work environment and enhances students' communication, metacognition, and applies critical thinking.
And our last is T standard, digital age learning culture. Standards for administrators. Educational administrators create, promote, and sustain a dynamic digital age learning culture that provides a rigorous, relevant, and engaging education for all students. In my report, it talked about makerspaces and the White House Maker Faire, how the Obama administration pledged to invest $1 million in maker-related programming in museums and libraries. And then the WebWise conference in 2014 addressed policy issues around makerspaces, covered issues of professional development, evaluation, sustainability, and institutional philosophies of making.
In my robotics article, it said 2.5 million industrial robots will be used by 2019. The concerns about automation disrupting jobs, bringing the need to prepare students for different pathways, promotes critical and computational thinking, and promotes hands-on learning in STEM subjects.
My report, business and intellectual market is a 18.3 billion business. 18.3 billion business. Other countries are far advanced in technology and education, which is one of the reasons why the U.S. is actually trying to come, being promoted more into these STEMs and cognitive thinking. We need to step up and prepare our students to the new era of education and future of our workforce. That concludes our Unit 3.